Hey everybody, Jackson Galaxy Cat Daddy. Welcome back, my friends, to the Cat Cave. The first thing is, I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, subscribe to this channel. I'm not gonna give you reasons to subscribe, just come on, do it. Also, don't forget to ring the bell because that way every time there's a new video like this one, you're gonna get notifications along with whenever I go live, when we have chats or polls or anything like that, you will be the first to know. Now, the second thing I wanted to housekeep about is before I start on today's topic, which is some catification themed work. If you don't know what catification is, first of all, the word means sort of aesthetically creating a home that both you and your cats love. Environmental enrichment that works for humans, like paw in finger, like that. Today's catification topic is one that we hear constantly when we've solicited questions from the public about it. It almost always hinges on, well, this is all great, but I rent my place, I live in an apartment, I can't do half the things that you're telling me to do, yet I still want to create a wonderful place for my cats to be, even though it's not a permanent thing for them. So how do I do that? Well, glad you asked, because that's what today's video is about, how to catify in a rented space. So I mean, pretty much if you're watching this video, you're already looking at it going, well, I want what's best for my cat, and I rent, and it's a pain, you know, for my cats, so tell me what to do. So you don't need to know that you're dealing with less space, less storage space, probably maybe sharing the space with others, and the fact that you can't hang things on the wall, you can't do anything permanent, you know all that stuff. So let's just get right to solutions. So the first thing that we should consider is scratching surfaces. And with scratching surfaces, the kind of cool thing is you can be a little stealth about them. You don't necessarily need big, tall scratching posts in order to make things work. Now this, of course, depends on the size of your cat, because what you want ideally is for your cat to be able to reach up the length of their body, pull down, and be able to exercise, you know, these muscles here and really just dig into that surface. Also think about how your cat likes to scratch. And many cats are horizontal scratchers and you didn't even know it. You're just wondering why they don't use the vertical scratching post you have, when really what they want to do is scratch flat. And those types of scratchers are easy to populate your house with, but also there's the scratchers that are at an angle, more slopey and triangular. Again, these can go under things, they don't have to be out, but really scratchers can go pretty much anywhere. I mean, my ideal spot is anywhere near where you are. So a lot of times we're talking about the couch, we're talking about the bed. Those are great areas to have scratchers because your cats are going to want to complement your scent with theirs. The next topic we'll talk about is creative climbing. The first rule of thumb when it comes to apartment catification is use what you got. So a prime example of this is if you happen to be lucky enough to have a fireplace in your apartment, that means you've also got a mantle. A mantle then becomes that perfect built into the wall hub where other things can be built onto it in order to create what I call the cat superhighway. If all of this lingo is getting a little bit too much for you, there's a video circulating right over my head here, which goes through the basics of catification, so check that one out. When you think about that cat superhighway, so the idea is, especially in the most socially significant part of the house, which is usually the living room, you want to see if you can make something so that your cats can move around the room without ever touching the floor. So we're looking at shelves that might have already existed, bookcases where your cats can go around, up, over. Are you going to then attach the couch to then, okay, from couch we'll go to scratching post that might be higher. From there we go onto the bookcase or down onto the TV console. You see what I'm doing here? I'm creating a cat superhighway based on nothing being attached to the wall. Now the other part of this that I think is really important, if you do have the room, cat trees are just indispensable. So your cats go up those cat trees, and now we're looking at, where do we go? Those trees act as your on-ramps to this whole deal here. One more little hint about creative climbing that I gotta point out, because it has saved me in a couple of different apartments that I've lived in, and that is tension-mounted cat climbing poles. So they come in either cat tree or just a straight-up pole that goes up and down. They tension mount to the ceiling and to the floor. Nothing gets drilled in. It's just you screw it, and now the tension keeps it mounted, right? So that means that you now have something where, again, you can have an on-ramp to your superhighway, or it's just something to climb up and down, but it's nothing that you have to drill into the wall. So that's just one more little creative hack to get you through your apartment rental with your cats. And one more little creative hack that I've actually used a few times, and you might have actually seen me use it on my show a few different times, is ladders. There are sort of old or antique-y looking ladders that you can get, and I've seen them on everything from eBay to, you know, some more of the more ritzy places that are like, oh, repurposed and, you know, antique pine ladder, those kind of things. But anyway, so they can be really decorative, but if you lean them up against the wall, there's just that way to climb up on something, and again, it's your on-ramp to the superhighway. So anything that gets you up, these are all just ways to take the things that you wouldn't even think about as being lifesavers when it comes to catification, and that's what they become. So the next thing that we want to talk about is multifunctionality. So if you've kept up with me talking about catification over the years, then you know I always talk about blocking off the unders. I don't see any reason why your cat should get under your bed. It is dangerous if there's an emergency and you got to get your cats out of the house. And it's also one of those things where your cat's going to go under there if they're not feeling all that secure, and you can't get them out again. So they get to call the shots from an environmental perspective, and we just don't want that. If you can block off the unders, and you're turning those unders into storage space. So under the bed, sort of, you know, those containers that you can just slide under the bed, those are great ways of at least partially blocking off the unders of the bed, and at the same time making use of the space. Here's another example. One of the things when you're dealing with very limited closet space, etc., you always want to have, obviously, your cat carrier around, but I believe you also want to have that out and ready. If there's an emergency, you want your cat in the carrier, you want out of the house before you can count to 10. Keep your cat carrier out in the open, and even better yet, turn it into a nice comfy den or a bed. You can take the top off it if you need to, so that your cat has an extra bed, but it is still their carrier. You can find a way to merge the utilitarian with the aesthetic and make sure that everybody wins. In this case, your cat has a carrier, they see it as their den, their bed, and you have it out and ready to go if you guys got a split. We don't want your cat to go into the carrier only when they're going to the vet or something like that. We want it to be their comfortable spot so they go there and feel safe when they go there, as opposed to feel scared because they're going someplace. So it serves a lot of different purposes. Another thing when we're talking about multifunctionality is we start thinking about the places that, well, you can't do without. And you can't do without a bed, and most of us can't do without a couch, or at least a comfy chair. We can provide spaces for our cats on those spaces to make them feel safe, to raise their confidence, to raise their mojo. We do this with a concept that I call scent soakers. Scent soakers are, well, they're just that. They're places where your cats can soak scent. So we look at things like cat beds, or even a blanket that becomes theirs, or my favorite are these, they're cat mats. I call them basically cat frisbees because, you know, you can just get like 5 or 6 of them. They're cheap as heck, and you just deal them out like a deck of cards, man. Now we've not only made scent soakers for your cat that can get moved from place to place as you get more furniture or replace furniture, but places that are already important to them, couch and bed, because they complement your scent. They have specific places on those surfaces to call their own and to say, hey, this belongs to cat. Now, speaking of scent soakers, the one place I really don't want you to skimp is what I call the king of all scent soakers, which is the litter boxes. I know that there are plenty of you who go, listen, I live in however many square feet, or I have this many bedrooms or whatever, and that means that I can only have one litter box. Well, if you have 2 cats, or if you have 3 cats, you need more than one litter box. And when they walk by a litter box and they can smell their scent, and this is after you scoop and everything, it could be a clean litter box, just the same way as if it were one of these cat beds or mats or whatever. They walk by it and they go, that's right, this belongs to me. I feel confident. Moving on, you know? If you're gonna skimp anywhere, please don't let it be the litter boxes. Now let's talk about bringing the outside in. I know, if you live in an apartment, it's tough. I mean, you could even live in an apartment that has a balcony, but in order to turn that into a proper catio, you've got to put up fencing or something, and oftentimes your landlord might not be all that happy about that. But you can bring the outside in with some very small things. The first thing that I can think about is cat grass. Actually, chewing on cat grass is healthy for them. And that dose of chlorophyll that comes along with it is actually good for them, and it helps with digestion. One solution that I used in one of my last apartments was to buy a flat of wheatgrass. You know, in the health food stores where they have the juicers and everything, the wheatgrass comes in a flat, and it could be just like that. Well, that's amazing for your cat, because not only can they chew on cat grass, they can also roll around a little bit or sit in it. If you put it near a window, then they're sitting in the sun in grass. Aha, you see where I'm going with all that? That's bringing the outside in. The second thing that you can do is provide a water element of some sort. A cat fountain is fantastic. Running water, the idea of running water, being able to not just drink from it, but to play a little bit and to watch it and to watch the light dancing off of water. These are just ways to bring in a little bit of nature into a natural nature, meaning apartment buildings. All right, so those are just some basic hints on how to catify and live in an apartment at the same time, or any kind of a rental space. And I mean, I think the idea is that, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And as long as you see environmental enrichment as a necessity and not a luxury, then you'll find a way. I can't even count how many people have come to me over the years and said, wow, when I provided a shelf, when I provided climbing areas, when I did this or that, my cat just became a greater version of themselves. That's true. And cats see the environment from floor to ceiling. So the more that we can provide them in the vertical world, the best version of themselves is right there for the taking. So go ahead and take it. I am sure that plenty of you guys who are watching this who live in apartments have thought of things, so share it in the comments. That's what these comments are for. And most importantly, other people who are moving into apartments, who have been living in apartments without any idea of how to catify, can see your idea and go, aha, I can't believe Jackson missed this, but I'm going to use it nonetheless. Hey man, I'm fine with that. I do not need to be the sole source of information for all this. I would like to be a major source of inspiration for this, as would Kate Benjamin, my co-author on these books that are floating around here right now, Catification and Catify to Satisfy. Both of them we're very proud of. They were both New York Times bestsellers, which tells you that lots of people want to catify their houses, and obviously you are one of those people because you're watching this video. So please pick up those books. The links for that will be in the description. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so that you get notifications for all things from premieres to chats to lives to all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to be the best human being that you can possibly be for the animals in your lives, and, you know, also for the humans too, because we all need good humans around us. All right, everybody, until next time, all light, all love, all catification, cat mojo to you. You're looking at me like you've never done this, but I mean, have you ever rented? And you never used the toothpaste trick?
No.
So
Enlighten me.
Okay, here, I'm gonna enlighten you. The toothpaste trick is that when you hang stuff in the wall, and then you're leaving the house and you've got all of these nail holes in the wall, assuming of course the wall is white, you take some toothpaste and you put it in the hole. I'm so glad to be like Tim Allen today, like Home Improvement. Meow.